Hey Dreamers, this is Jade, and I'm here to set up for February in my quote unquote planners. I say that because in the weeks I'm basically using it as a gratitude journal, so I'm not really planning anything. I do set up the monthlies, even though I rarely use them at all, but I do like for them to look pretty. And unfortunately, I have already set up the week for now, and I didn't record it or whatever because the end of January spilled over into the first week of February. So whatever, I'm actually using the same sticker book that I used to set up my week, which is the Daydreamer sticker book from the Happy Planner. Very basic, very simple, as you can see. Nothing too crazy going on here in this week's, because as I said, I don't generally use the monthly part of the weeks that much. Now, as for my mini bullet journal, I do, and I'd like to set up my own calendar every month. I don't know why. There's just something really cathartic about drawing out my own calendar with my own handwriting, lettering, and all of that kind of stuff. And so that is what I'm doing here. If you have not seen my complete process for this before, I will live. I will leave a link either in the cards or down below so you can check that out if you want. But as I said, I have done this before. So, yeah, what I start by doing is basically getting out the shell, I guess I should say, of the calendar. And so I count my spaces when I do this is 5 by 5 for the squares, and of course it spans both pages for the entire monthly calendar. And February is one of those months where it's split up, and of course there's only 28 days. So I try to do it as it is on the calendar instead of having to erase, because I used to do it that way and had to erase a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, so I get the shell of it broken down first. I add the lines and then I go back over it, of course, with my uni pen. As you can see here, I just go over the outside, again, the shell of it first, and then I start getting down, or what do you call it? Going over the individual lines to create the entire calendar. And that middle part is like clutch, because that's where I count from when I start my calendar, and it makes it so easy to do this. As I said, I have done this before, and I think I'm like way more detailed in how I set this up, so you can check that out if you want to. But yeah, just getting the calendar down here, and then I will move on and write out, of course, the days at the top. I usually like to write, unless there's some reason for an obstruction of it, I usually like to write the days right above the calendar. And as you can see, of course, those days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, is not there because February doesn't start until Wednesday. But yeah, and then I take a smaller uni pen. So like for the outside shell and like doing the trace over or whatever, I use the '08, and then when I'm writing the numbers in, I use the 5 so they're not as thick. And so yeah, I struggle with this a little bit on the struggle bus with this washi tape here. I really, really love it. It's so pretty. It's from Creative Devotion. I picked it up from Pop Shelf sometime last year. Shout out to Gina for putting me on that store. As a matter of fact, I hadn't been in a while, so I might need to plan a trip there. But anyway, I put the entire, because it's a really wide strip, I put the entire thing down and decided I didn't like it that wide, so I wanted to split it up, but then it just didn't tear right. So I decided to measure out that space and how much I need, and then just cut it down to the size that it is. And measuring it out, I think I determined it was like 0.75, and so that's where I put the washi tape on this, and it just works out that it fits right up there in that top area and the bottom area there. So I use both pieces, and I actually still have a piece there because I was able to split that other one, but I have a thin piece sitting here that I wasn't able to use, so I'll use it on some project soon, I'm sure. And I cut that down, and I'm just using some clear stickers from an old Happy Planner sticker book. It's either, I use both. I use two. There is one called Dream Seeker, and I think the love that I end up putting down at the bottom comes from the free spirit one, and I think it's the first ever free spirit, the one with the burgundy um outside or whatever. And as you guys know, anything that I use in my spreads as far as decorations and products and items and stuff like that, if I can find a link for it, it will be in the description box below so you can check there. And here I am just lettering out February with my Pit Artist pen. I don't really care for the way that I lettered this out. I should have did it a lot slower and taken my time. However, it works, and I'm not gonna worry my pretty little head over it. So yeah. And then of course sometimes when I'm writing out my e's or lettering out my e's, I do it in such a way where the inside of the e gets closed up, and it annoys the crap out of me, and I try not to do that, but sometimes it happens anyway. So I just went back in with my white Arteza gel pen and made the hole so I could go back and shadow it or whatever. And so here I'm just using my Funosuke pen to write out my titles for the month, to record my shows and movies that I keep track of that I watch, and also the books that I complete and anything that I'm listening to on repeat for the month. And so I get that all set up. I go ahead and mark out 3 boxes for the shows because I like to use icons to represent the shows that I have watched. Again, putting those boxes 5 by 5, and once I print out the show icon, it's 70.75 by 0.75. That's what fits in that box. And so then I get my brain dump page title just set up there, so if anything comes to me I need to just dump right there, I will. And then of course my online orders page for the month of February, so I can keep track of where I ordered from, the cost, when I ordered it, the date shipped, and when it finally arrived. And that pretty much wraps this up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Hope everyone has been safe and well, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.